Yo iba a acabar, pero baja calidad. Y ella me dijo que no, que no.
For your finalist in women's 1-meter diving, this is her first Mets final appearance from Roberts Wesleyan, Ellie Berger. From Brooklyn College, Magdalena Makiewicz. Our next diver is a 3-time NCAA diving qualifier, 2-time Met silver medalist, and 3-time finalist from Roberts Wesleyan, Sydney Simmons. She holds school records in all 4 diving events. She's a 7-time Mets A finalist, 4-time Mets champ, and 2-time Women's Diver of the Year from Roberts Wesleyan, Emma Dickman. All right, and now let's meet the finalists in men's 3-meter diving. In men's 3-meter diving, your first diver from Brooklyn College, Christian Diaz. The second diver from Brooklyn College, Jaden Diaz. Diver number 3 was 5th in the 200 free last year, and this is his first state final appearance from Roberts Wesleyan, Brody Baldwin. And the top seed in his first Mets final appearance from Roberts Wesleyan, Joel Fessman. Swimming in the final of the women's 400-yard IM in lane 1. She was 5th in this event at the Skyline Conference Championship from Sarah Lawrence, Aubrey Rosser. In lane 2, she's a 4-event scoring swimmer at the Skyline Conference from Sarah Lawrence, Kirsten Wildcat E. In lane 3, she's a Cuban All-Star all 4 years and two-time defending champ at this event from Peru, Kira Chen. In lane 4, she's an NCAA triathlon national competitor. Last night she took second in the 200-yard IM. And also last year, from Roberts Wesleyan, Joanne Arzayu. In lane 5, she took fourth place in the 500-yard freestyle last night from Roberts Wesleyan, Sky Nicholswick. In lane 6, she's had a down freshman year with an unfailingly positive attitude. This is her first year at Metros, her second final appearance, placing 6th in the 500 free last night from Gordon Harper Hicks. In lane 7, last night she took 8th in the 200 IM and 7th in the 100 back last year from Roberts Wesleyan, Paige Kerr. And in lane 8, she is an academic all-conference swimmer and part of Gordon College's A.J. Gordon Honors Program. She took 5th in the mile and in the 400 IM last year from Gordon College, Arwen Heffner.
Right into the microphone. That's it? So the water went right in the microphone. Can you check the live stream? Thank you. Okay. Right now? It's not live. Coming at you live from the 2026 Metropolitan Championships here at Rutgers University. We're getting started here in just a couple minutes. Divers are just getting out some jumps off the board here. We'll get started a couple minutes late. Tonight's finals will be live scored on Dive Live. If you have the app, or you could use the dashboard on your computer, see the scores live as we go. We'll only be announcing the scores of current dives as divers go in the orders that divers are going on this live stream. So check out the Dive Live app if you're curious about the scores tonight. We've got divers from Roberts Wesleyan University. We've got divers from Brooklyn College. And hang tight. We'll get started here in a couple minutes. Announcing the diving orders for tonight's finals. For the women's 1 meter, diving first will be Ali from Roberts Wesleyan University, followed by Magdalena from Brooklyn College. Third will be Sydney Simmons from Roberts Wesleyan University, ending with Emma Dickup from Roberts Wesleyan University. Men's 3 meter finals, diving first from Brooklyn College, Christian Diaz. Second from Brooklyn College, Jaden Diaz, followed by Roberts Wesleyan University's Brody Baldwin, concluding with Joel Fesmer from Roberts Wesleyan University. Judges are just getting in their seats here. We'll be getting started in just a few seconds. All right, judges ready. Good evening. Welcome to the finals of our Saturday diving for the men's championships. Your diving order for this evening. For the women's 1 meter, diving first, Ali from Roberts Wesleyan University. Second will be Magdalena from Brooklyn College. Third will be Sydney from Roberts Wesleyan. Fourth, Emma Dickup from Roberts Wesleyan. Your men's final order. Diving first from Brooklyn College, Christian Diaz, followed by Jaden Diaz. Then will be Brody Baldwin, concluding with Joel from Roberts Wesleyan. Beginning the first round of the women's 1 meter final. Ellie, 203C, back 1.5 somersault, tuck, difficulty 2.0. Further on the board. Judges scores. 4. Magdalena, 103B, forward, 1.5 somersault pike, difficulty 1.7. Judges scores 6.5. 6.5. Sydney, 104B, forward, 2 somersaults pike, difficulty 2.3. Judges score 6.5. 6.5. 6.5. Judges scores 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Moving on to men, Christian, 103C, forward, 1.5 somersault, tuck, difficulty 1.5. Judges scores 4.5, 3.5, 3.5. Jaden, 103C, forward, 1.5 somersault, tuck, difficulty 1.5. Judges scores 4.5, 4, 4. Brody, 103B, forward, 1.5 somersault, pike, difficulty 1.6. (103B), forward, 1.5 somersault, pike, difficulty 1.6. Judges scores 5.5, 4.5, 5. Joel, 103C, forward, 1.5 somersault, tuck, difficulty 1.5. Judges scores 4.5, 5.5, 5. Moving on to the next round for the women. Ellie, 402C, inward somersault, tuck, difficulty 1.6. Judges scores 5.5, 6.5, 5.5. Magdalena, 202A, back somersault straight, difficulty 1.7. Judges scores 6, 6.5, 6.5. Sydney, 5C, forward, 2.5 somersault, tuck, difficulty 2.4. Holy cow.
I just changed it to a 102. I'm gonna have to change my whole list.
Yep, 102.
102, 202, 302, 402.
102 what?
Let's put everything in top. Actually, put 102 in front.
Which is what letter? B?
B.
102B. Got it. Sydney, 102B. Forward somersault pike, difficulty 1.5. Judges score 6.5, 5-4. Emma, 105B, forward, 2.5 somersault pike, difficulty 2.6. Judges score 6, 6.5, 6.5. Moving on to the men, Christian, 102C, forward, 1 somersault tuck, difficulty 1.5.
Drives may be repeated.
Forward with it. One C, forward dive, tuck, difficulty 1.4. I think he has one later. Judges scores 5, 4, 4.5. Jaden, 202C, back somersault tuck, difficulty 1.6. Judges scores 4, 3.5, 4. Brody, 202A, back somersault straight, difficulty 1.8. So we'll have to change. Our whole thing is getting strange. Judge the scores 5.5, 6, 6.5. Joel, 202C, back somersault tuck, difficulty 1.6. Judges scores 5, 5, 5.5. Magdalena, 203C, back 1.5 somersault tuck, difficulty 2.0. Judges scores 4.5, 3.5, 5. Sydney, 302C, reverse somersault tuck, difficulty 1.6. Judges scores 5.5, 6, 5.5. Emma, 303C, reverse 1.5 somersault tuck, difficulty 2.1. Judges scores 7, 7.5, 7.5. Moving on to the men. Christian, 402C, inward somersault tuck, difficulty 1.4. I don't know why it's changing it. Christian, 401C, inward dive, tuck, difficulty 1.3. Scores 5, 5.5, 5. Jaden, 302C, reverse somersault tuck, difficulty 1.7. Just want to make sure it's better for Christian. Judges scores 3.5, 4, 3.5. Brody, 302C, reverse somersault tuck, difficulty 1.7. Judges scores 5, 6, 6. Joel, 302C, reverse somersault tuck, difficulty 1.7. Judges scores 5. Moving back to women, Ellie, 103B, forward, 1.5 somersault pike, difficulty 1.7. Judges scores 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Magdalena, 402C, inward somersault tuck, difficulty 1.6. Judges scores 6.55. City, 202C, back somersault, top difficulty 1.5. Judges scores 6, 6.5, 6. 203B, back 1.5 somersault pike, difficulty 2.3. Judges scores 7, 6.5, 6.5. Moving on to the men. Christian, 201A, back dive, straight, difficulty 1.9. Judges scores 3.5, 3.5. Jaden, 402C, inward somersault, tuck, difficulty 1.4. Judges scores 4.5, 5, 4.5. Brody, 5122D, forward, somersault, 1 twist, free, difficulty 2.0. Judges scores 5.5, 5, 4. Joel, 401B, inward dive, pipe, difficulty 1.4. back to the women. Ellie, 302C, reverse somersault, top difficulty 1.6. Judges scores 6, 6.5, 5.5. Magdalena, 302C, reverse somersault, top difficulty 1.6. Judges scores 6.5, 5.5, 5. Sydney, 402C, inward somersault, top difficulty 1.6. Judges scores 6, 5.5, 6. Emma, 5132D, forward, 1.5 somersault, 1 twist, free, difficulty 2.2. Divers are moving right along. Judges scores 7.5, 7.5, 7. Moving on to the men. Christian, 301B, reverse dive pike, difficulty 1.9. Just 4, 3.5, 3.5. Jaden, 403C, inward, 1.5 somersault, top difficulty 1.9. Judges scores 5, 4.5, 3.5. 3.5. Brody, 402C, inward somersault, top difficulty 1.4. C. Judges scores 5.5, 5, 5.5. We got it. Joel, 5111B, forward dive, half twist, pike, difficulty 1.9. Judges scores 5.5, 5.5, 4. Final round. Moving back to the women. Ellie, 51-22D, forward somersault, 1 twist, free, difficulty 1.9. Judges scores 3-4-4. Magdalena, 52-31D, back 1.5 somersault, half twist, free, difficulty 2.1. This poor girl pulls up every time they start swimming over there. She's good. She waits for the start. Judges scores 5.5, 4.5, 4.5. Sydney, 51-32D, forward 1.5 somersaults, 1 twist, difficulty 2.2. Judges score 7.5, 6.5, 7.5. Emma, 403B, inward, 1.5 somersault, pike, difficulty 2.4. Judges scores 7, 7, 6.5. Christian, 52-11A, back dive, half twist straight, difficulty 2.0. Jaden, 52-31D, back, 1.5 somersault, half twist, free, difficulty 2.0. Judges scores 4, 3.5, 3.5. Brody, 403C, inward, 1.5 somersault, tuck, difficulty 1.9. Judges scores 6.5, 6.5, 6. Joel, 403C, inward, 1.5 somersault, tuck, difficulty 1.9. Judges scores 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. That concludes diving for this evening.